Ah, hello. I don't think we've met. Sam Ericks.
Victor Tang, pleased to meet you.
And what company are you from, Mr. Tang?
Oceanwide. I'm the sales representative for this region.
Ah, yes, I know your company. Your business is expanding very rapidly at the moment.
Yes, we're doing quite well. And yourself, who do you work for?
Actually, I work for myself. I'm the CEO of a small export and packaging company. We specialise in seafood.
What company are you from? Which company do you represent? What's your line of business? Who do you work for?
And what company are you from? Ah, yes, I know that company. And what's your position there? And what do you do there?
I'm the sales representative for this region.
I'm the CEO of a small export and packaging company.
CEO or Chief Executive Officer of his company.
And what company are you from? Ah, yes, I know that company. And what's your position there? Oh, really? That's interesting.
The growing market.
Yes, but a very competitive one, Mr. Tang.
Please, call me Victor.
Sam. Yes, but a very competitive one, Mr. Tang. Victor, let me introduce you to someone. Lynn, this is Victor Tang. He's the regional rep for Oceanwide. This is Lynn Chan, my sales manager.
How do you do, Mr. Tang?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to meet you, Miss Chan.
Let me introduce you to someone. This is Victor Tang. He's the regional rep for Oceanwide. This is Lynn Chan, my sales manager.
How do you do, Mr. Tang?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to meet you, Miss Chan.
And you?
Hello. I don't think we've met. And what company are you from? Let me introduce you to someone. This is Lynn Chan, my sales manager.
Pleased to meet you. Who do you work for? Please, call me Victor. I'm very well, thank you.
How do you do, Mr. Tang? Nice to meet you.
We are having a small dinner for some of our clients and friends after this. Why don't you join us? Why don't you join us? Perhaps you could join us. It would be great if you could join us. Would you like to join us?
Would be great if you could join us is not in a question form. It is still being used as a question. Notice also how we use could and would in polite invitations, not can or will.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. That sounds good.
And you can put them all together like this.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Sounds good. Very kind of you. I'll just check with my associate whether they have other arrangements for us.
Yes, would you like to join us?
Unfortunately, I have another engagement. But thank you for the invitation. Unfortunately, I have another engagement. I'm afraid I have another commitment. I can't, I'm sorry. Perhaps another time.
Well, perhaps you could join us after that for a drink.
Sounds great. I'll be happy to. Where shall we meet?
How about the lounge bar here at about 10?
I'll see you then.
Perhaps you could join us after that for a drink.
Perhaps you'd like to join us later. Perhaps you'd be interested in meeting us for breakfast. Perhaps we could meet later in the week.
Sounds great. I'll be happy to. Where shall we meet? That sounds great. Sounds good. I'd love to. I'd be happy to.
Where shall we meet?
How about the lounge bar here at about 10?
I'll see you then.
How about the lounge bar here? About 10? Victor's joining us for dinner.
Oh, wonderful.
I hope you don't mind.
Of course not. You're most welcome.
Well, shall we make a move?
Would you mind if I just say goodbye to a few people?
No problem. We'll see you outside in a few minutes.
Okay.
Excuse me, is anyone sitting here?
No. Please, have a seat.
That's better. My feet are killing me. That's better. My feet are killing me.
Have you been here long?
No, but I just flew in this morning and I haven't had a chance to sit down since then.
Have you been here long? Have you been to Sydney before? Have you seen the Opera House? Have you tried any restaurants? Have you been here long?
No, but I just flew in this morning and I haven't had a chance to sit down since then.
Oh, where have you come from?
What about yourself? Do you live in Sydney?
No, I live in Melbourne. I'm just here for the conference.
And what about yourself? And how about you? And what about yourself? Do you live in Sydney? And how about you? Have you been here before? Melbourne later. What's the weather like there?
Not too good in winter, but at the moment it should be okay. Excuse me, there's someone I must talk to. It's been very nice to meet you. I'm Walter, by the way.
You too. I'm Sue. Perhaps we'll meet later.
I hope so. Well, it's been very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's been good to meet you.
You too.
I have enjoyed talking to you.
So have I.
I hope we can meet again.
So do I.
Perhaps we'll meet again.
I hope so.
You ask about regular actions and about likes and dislikes or opinions. Do you travel often? Do you like the weather here? Do you think this session will be interesting? Questions starting with "Are you?" are asking for personal information. Are you from Manila? Or intentions? Are you going to the dinner? Questions starting with where, when, what, why or who are asking for information, and they often have a falling tone. Where do you come from? When are you going back? People from different...
Has everybody got a copy of the agenda? Yes. Thank you. Would you mind taking minutes, John?
Oh, not at all.
Good. Well, then let's get started. Has everybody got a copy of the agenda? Does everyone have an agenda? Everybody should have received an agenda. Would you mind taking minutes, John? Could somebody take the minutes, please? Well, then let's get started. First of all, thank you everyone for attending at short notice. As you know, the objective of this meeting of the Capital Works Committee is to discuss a proposal for some urgent building work at our Southside plant. As we've got to reach a decision which may involve spending, we'll run it as a formal meeting. Now, you've read the proposal, so without further ado, I'd like to open it up for discussion. The objective of today's meeting is to discuss the proposal. We're here today to discuss a proposal. The purpose of our meeting today is to discuss the following proposal. Now, you've read the proposal, so without further ado, I'd like to open it up for discussion. Or perhaps if we can start with you, Tan. What's your view? Who'd like to start the discussion? What's your view, Tan? Let's hear from Tan. Do you have a view on this, Tan? So, to sum up, I think we are all aware that some urgent work does need to be done, and we will need to work on a longer-term plan for a major refit. Well, if there's no more discussion, we'll put it to a vote. We are recommending that tenders be called for the urgent work needed. All those in favour? All those against? Then that's agreed. Any other business? Then we'll close the meeting. Thank you, everyone. The next meeting will be in 2 weeks at the same time.
It's very difficult to work out.
Well, I'm not convinced that the work is as urgent as this report suggests. I'm afraid I'm not convinced. I don't entirely agree. I'm not sure about that. I can't agree with you there. I don't think that's quite correct.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a question of safety, so I think we should go ahead.
Are you suggesting that someone could get hurt?
In my opinion, yes.
Let's practice some phrases you can use to introduce your opinion about something.
In my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, if you ask me, the way I see it is this.
Are you suggesting that someone could get hurt? Are you saying that someone could get hurt? Do you mean someone could get hurt? Are you implying that someone could get hurt? Well, I'm not convinced that the work is as urgent as this report suggests. So perhaps we should...
Oh, come on. The building is practically falling down.
Sorry, Lynn. I don't think Tan had finished. We'll get to you in a minute.
Sorry.
So perhaps
Oh, come on. The building is practically falling down.
Sorry, Lynn. I don't think Tan had finished. We'll get to you in a minute.
Well, it's obvious with the evidence.
Yes, but we do need to hear everyone's views on this.
Let's just vote on it.
All in good time, Lynn. Please. Go on, Tan. About the problem with parking. There were no places again this morning.
Maybe if you got to work on time.
All comments through the chair, if you don't mind, Walter. Parking isn't on the agenda for this meeting. Perhaps you could suggest it for our next meeting, Barbara.
Are you implying we should have done something earlier?
Much earlier. It's a real concern.
Hear, hear.
In that case, I agree. We should do something now.
I think so too.
I agree. In that case, I agree. I'll go along with you. I couldn't agree more. That's right. I concur. Absolutely.
I'm afraid I'm not convinced. Are you suggesting that someone could get hurt? I can't quite agree with you there.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a question of safety.
Perhaps we should move on. We do have to keep an eye on the time.